Hello there. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I want to look at an essay question on business roles, which is creative thinking in particular. So, our question we are given the information that we are given before we are given the questions in terms of our essay question. So the information that we are given reads creative thinking is required by all business employers and employees to solve the problems that are encountered by business on a daily basis. It is important to know problem solving steps and different techniques to address the challenges of the business. So the first point is outline the problem-solving steps. Second point, discuss ways in which working with others to solve problems and acquiring creative skills can be promoted within the business. Explain how the business can apply delphi technique to solve problems. Advise managers on the use of creative thinking in the business. So our question has got 40 marks. So we are going to see that this is an essay question, and obviously, in the introduction, you are supposed to find some business terms that we have in the question that you can try to define. So you'll see that in the question, we have a creative thinking that is appearing in the question that we can define in the introduction. You see that we have a creative thinking. So we can come up with a description of creative thinking, whereby we can define it as a term which includes the process of innovative problem solving, from analyzing the facts to brainstorming to working with others. So that is a creative thinking. So basically, it refers to the ability to consider something in a new way. That is the ability to look at problems or situations from a fresh perspective, which is thinking outside the box. So when we are thinking outside the box, we are engaging a creative thinking. So we have a brief description that we have of creative thinking according to this video, which is going to be our introduction, whereby we are saying creative thinking is the process that is used to generate new ideas to solve the business problems. Problem solving skills will always assist the business to achieve its own objective and goals that is making a profit. So this is what we have in terms of the introduction of this question. So lastly, there are different techniques that the business can use to solve challenges. So that's how we can come up with an introduction. So going on the first point, it requires us to outline the problem-solving steps. So we're going to say that the problem-solving steps are start from defining the problem, and obviously you need to diagnose the root cause of that problem and identify and implement a solution, obviously, to solve the problem. And also, you have to sustain the results. So those are some of the steps that we should also include in the problem solving steps. So we have those steps outlined in other section whereby we are saying define the problem by identifying the crisis and list problem possible reasons for the problems. Then on the second part, collect data and information about the problem and the objectives as you can. Analyze all the facts and information to help you to understand the problem. So obviously, you need to analyze the facts and the information. So through the process of analyzing the facts and information, that's how you're going to understand the problem better. So next point, I think of as many solutions to the problem as possible by listing them so that you can have more alternative solutions. So obviously, you have to have alternative solutions, many solutions that can be possible to solve that problem, and you have to to choose the best solution possible. And obviously, if those solutions require to be financed, and you have to choose the solution that the business can afford to implement. Then we have got to evaluate and select alternative solutions to solve the problems. And then we are going to the next, which is saying develop and implement an action plan to solve the problem. So you would see that you have to develop and implement an action plan. So an action plan basically it is coming up with action steps so that you know exactly how you are going to accomplish them. So basically we are saying it is a document that lists the action steps needed to achieve project goals and objectives. So that's what we then lastly monitor and make follow up to check the end result and see whether the problem was solved. So those are the problem solving steps that you can try to follow. So on our next point, it reads discuss ways in which working with others to solve problems and acquiring creative skills can be promoted within the business. So obviously, ways in which working with others to solve problems and acquiring creative skills, how it can be promoted within the business is to try to influence the workers there that are there in that workplace so that they can accommodate each other in whatever processes that they are being involved in, so that by accommodating each other, that's how they can work better with one another. So what we are saying is, according to other section, we have those ways in which working with others can be made better to solve problems. So the first that we have is that to encourage employees to effectively work with one another by cooperating and respecting ideas of other members in solving the problems. Remember, if you accommodate or you are a person who accommodates other people's views in whatever, be it in discussions, that's how you can work with others in a better way. So basically, that's what we have, and that also will obviously enhance cooperation in the workplace. So that is the first point that we have. The second point is to motivate them to work in groups or teams rather than working independently, because more hands will generate more ideas. So the issue of working in groups, obviously, it facilitates the issue of teamwork. As they're working in groups, that's how they can easily connect to each other and be able to work as one. So this can also go on and describe the issue of workers being in the same building or the same office, not creating individual office. So by creating a large office that is an open office that we have many workers that are working in one room, and that also encourages cooperation and teamwork. So this is what we have on second point. Third point, allow employees to brainstorm about the challenges because more alternatives are generated. So by brainstorming, that's how we can have more ideas and more alternatives in terms of where we are supposed to choose. If there are solutions, we can choose from different alternatives. Then we go to the next one. One of the biggest advantages of brainstorming is that group members that can build on another's ideas because the idea of one person can spark another person's creativity. The next one, team members should be given opportunity to analyze the problem in greater details, in which lead to a better understanding of the problem. And then lastly, team members should be allowed to share the knowledge and skills when solving problems, because this will empower everybody, and the business will not depend on one another. So obviously, to encourage working with one another, also there should be the issue of sharing of knowledge with others. So through the process of sharing knowledge with others, that's where we are enhancing the issue of cooperation and teamwork in the workplace. So this is what we have on this point. Moving on to the next point, is saying explain how the business can apply delphi technique to solve problems. So we have a delphi technique. So to that, a delphi technique is a process of gathering a panel of experts and engaging in several rounds of questions about how to make certain business decisions. So you're going to see that this panel of experts that are supposed to respond to questions doesn't have to be at one place. They can be in different places, but the issue is questions are supposed to be sent to the panel of experts, and then they have to respond to those questions. They return, and usually they are questions that are based on customer complaints. So they are responding to those questions, and then when they respond to those questions, obviously the business should or the management should work on those questions. So that's what we have. So the question leads us to explain how the business can apply the delphi technique to solve problems. So we have the solution in our other section in terms of those ways in which the technique can be applied. So they can invite a panel of experts to research the complaints from customers. Remember, we said the questions are based on complaints from customers. Experts do not have to be in one place, and they will be conducted individually. So physical location in one place is not unnecessary, as they can be conducted in different locations where they are. Then we've got a design a questionnaire consisting of questions on how to improve the quality of their products and distribute it to the panel members or the experts. Request the panel to individually respond to the questionnaire, suggest improvements to the products, and return it to the business. So this is the process. Summarize the responses from the experts in a feedback report. So we have other points again that are concurring with applying the delphi technique to solve the problem that also can be included in this essay. Then if we try to refer back to the previous point, it's saying discuss ways in which working with others to solve problems and acquiring creative skills can be promoted within the business. So we need to also respond to the second part whereby it reads acquiring creative skills can be promoted within the business. So if you refer to our answer section, you'd see that this is acquiring creative thinking skills. So these are the points that are supporting the issue of acquiring a creative thinking skills, whereby we are saying a creative thinking can be acquired by looking at problems but trying to see opportunities. So remember, the description of creative thinking, it refers to the ability to consider something in a new way. That is a creative thinking. So next point, being open-minded and not being judgmental. That's how you can engage the issue of acquire creative thinking in the workplace. Then we've got applying new solutions to old problems. Obviously, there it should be the issue of new ideas that are coming in the form of new solutions. And then we've got expanding your knowledge by reading about variety of topics and identifying things that inspire and motivate you. So this is what we have on this point. Then on the last part is saying advise managers on the use of creative thinking in business. So how can managers use creative thinking in the business is the last point. So these are the points that we have in terms of that, whereby we are saying creative thinking is used to develop new products and marketing strategies for the business to make profit. Obviously, whenever we are engaged in creative thinking, there should be a situation that should be in place. So if the situation that we have in the first point is that there are new products that needs to come up, so we need new ideas in terms of how to introduce those new products. So obviously, we need creative thinking. So that is the first point that we have. Then second one, saying it is used to improve the quality of goods and services and customer satisfaction in order to increase the sales. So obviously, we need to improve the quality of goods and services. So that is the situation that we have. And by improving them, we need a creative thinking. New ideas should come in on how we should go about it so that the quality of those goods and services is going to be enhanced. So this is what we have on the second point. It is used to generate new ideas and alternative solutions to solve the problems of a business. And we have also, it is used to solve the conflict in the workplace and encourage teamwork in the business. It encourages innovation and employees' participation in addressing challenges of the employees. So these are the points that are supporting the use of creative thinking in the business. So obviously, our essay, we have to end it with a conclusion. So this is a typical conclusion that you can try to come up with, whereby we are saying creative thinking is important to maintain a competitive edge. Lastly, it is important to all employees so as to understand the ever-changing business environment. So basically, this is our essay that we have according to this video. So thank you for listening, and hopefully the video was helpful. And please, let's not forget to subscribe and share to our channel. We'll meet again in the next video.